Hello, everyone. My name is Silverline Joseph, and for my final design thinking project, I chose to focus on improving the Air Force retirement and separation experience through a human-centered digital solution called the Air Force Transition Hub. I selected this topic because of my experience working in the MPF, military personnel flight, where I've seen firsthand how stressful and confusing the transition process can be for many airmen. Through this project, I applied the five stages of design thinking process to develop a solution that simplifies the transition experience while keeping the needs of the user at the center of every decision. Every year, thousands of airmen prepare to retire or separate from active duty. During this process, they must complete numerous appointments, submit important documents, and meet strict deadlines. From my experience working in the retirement and separation office, I have observed that many members become overwhelmed because the information they need is spread across multiple systems, websites, emails, and checklists. This often leads to confusion, missed deadlines, and repeated phone calls or visits to the MPF. I chose this problem because it directly affects airmen during a major life transition. My goal was to design a solution that makes the process easier to understand, reduce stress for the airmen and for we the technicians, and as well provide one centralized location for everything members need throughout their transition. To solve this problem, I use design thinking process. Design thinking is a human-centered approach to problem solving that focuses on understanding users before creating solutions. The process consists of the five stages and empathizing, defining the problem, ideate, creating a prototype, and testing the prototype to be sure works it actually works for what you need it for. Instead of assuming what users need, design thinking encourages us to learn from their experience, generate multiple ideas, build prototypes, and continuously improve our solution through feedback. As Brown explains in Change of Design, empathy is the foundation of creating meaningful and effective solutions. Um, The first stage was empathy. My goal was to understand the experience of the people directly involved in the retirement and separation process. The primary users include retiring airmen, separating airmen, the military personnel flight technicians, retirement counselors, and supervisors as well. Rather than relying solely on assumptions, I use my professional experience. Having been worked in that said position before, I have friends who have also retired and or separated, observed daily workflows, reviewed common questions from customers, and reflected on conversations with both members and co-workers. One of the biggest insight I discovered was that most users were not struggling because the process itself was impossible. They struggled because the information was scattered across multiple locations, making it difficult to know what to do first. To better understand the users, I created an empathic map. The empathic map helped organize what users say, think, do, and feel throughout the transition process. Many users said they didn't know where to begin and wanted clearer instruction. They often thought the process was confusing and worried about missing important deadlines. Their actions included searching multiple websites, calling the MPF for clarification, and trying to balance transition requirements with their regular work responsibility. Emotionally, many felt overwhelmed, stressed, uncertain, while also feeling hopeful about the next chapter of their life. This exercise helped me understand that the biggest issue wasn't motivation, it was the lack of simple, organized process. Based on my research, I developed the following problem statement. Airmen preparing to retire or separate struggle to manage appointments, paperwork, and deadlines because information is distributed across multiple systems and communication channels. Defining the problem in this way helped ensuring that every solution I considered would directly address the user's real needs rather than simply adding another resources. To keep the project focused on a real user, I created a persona named Student Alex Johnson. Alex has served for 12 years and plans to separate in 6 months. Like many members, Alex is balancing work responsibility while preparing for life after the Air Force. Alex's goals are to complete all transition requirements on time and reduce unnecessary stress. Um, his biggest challenge she's included navigating multiple websites, managing deadlines, and determining which requirements apply to him. Creating this persona helped me evaluate every design decision from the user's perspective. During the ideation phase, I brainstormed several possible solutions. This include an AI chatbot, a mobile application, personalized checklist, appointment reminders, and a centralized transition dashboard. After evaluating each idea, I selected the Air Force Transition Orb because it combined the strongest features into one solution. Instead of requiring users to visit multiple systems, the dashboard would provide personalized checklists based off of if they're retiring or separating, if they need to do additional medical review, um, what documents they require for their transition, appointment scheduling, reminders, progress trackers will help them track all the progress they've made, appointments they haven't done, and the ones they still need to do, document management, and quick access to important resources from one location. The storyboard helped visualize the user's journey from beginning to end. In the first frame, the member receives separation orders. Next, they become overwhelmed because they are unsure where to begin. Then they discover the Air Force Transition Hub, where they receive a personalized checklist and organized guidance. As they complete tasks, the dashboard tracks their progress and sends reminders about upcoming appointments. Finally, the member successfully completes the transition process, feeling confident and prepared. The storyboard allowed me to visualize the user's experience and identify where my solution could reduce stress and improve efficiency. This slide presents my low fidelity prototype of the Air Force Transition Orb. I have a screenshot picture of what the actual prototype looks like. You can also click on the link to check the prototype itself on Figma. The dashboard serves as the home screen and provides users with their progress, today's tasks, upcoming appointments, and important notification. The personalized checklist allows members to track required tasks and monitor their completion status. The calendar organizes appointments and helps users stay on schedule because most of the appointments do have deadlines that you have to do to meet them. So this kind of helps them to stay on track. The resources page provides quick access to important guidelines such as military sponsors, VA benefit, finance, skill bridge, and education resources. The notification page keeps users informed about upcoming deadlines and required actions, like I said earlier. Finally, the progress dashboard summarizes the completed requirement and highlights any remaining task they need to complete. Although this prototype is intentionally simple, it demonstrates how one centralized application could significantly improve the retirement and separation experience for the member and also the MPF technicians. I know this is just an assignment for school, but if I were to actually go ahead and work on this app to evaluate my prototype, I would share it with my coworkers and individuals familiar with the retirement and separation process. Overall, the feedback I assume I would get would be positive. Participants approached having one centralized location for tax and appointments. I'm giving this feedback based off of like what I've heard, challenges I also had, and challenges friends who have retired and separated as well complained about. Several of the users mentioned that having an automated reminder and progress tracker would help reduce stress and improve accountability. Suggestions for improvement included adding calendar synchronizations, expanding the search function, and allowing users to customize notification. This feedback that I presume I will get, or that I assume would be what would I would get if I do present this to Air Force to do. The feedback would reinforce the importance of continuous improvement, which is a key principle of design thinking. Um, Artificial intelligence played an important role throughout this project. Like I said in my, I think one of the videos for this week, I already use AI at work right now for organization and brainstorming in the office for meeting reminders. I use for this project, I use ChatGPT as a collaborative partner to organize ideas, brainstorm potential solutions, refine my problem statement, develop presentation content, and generate concept for my storyboard and prototype. However, AI did not replace my own thinking or professional experience. Like I said, I have worked at the MPF as a technician, and I do have friends who have gone through this process before, which AI cannot. I had to my understanding of the retirements and separation process combined with empathy for the users guided every design decision. As discussed throughout this course, AI works best when it supports creativity and efficiency, while we humans remain responsible for critical thinking, decision making, and understanding the needs of the people there that we are designing for. I'll say this project reinforced the value of design thinking as a human-centered approach to solve real world problems rather than jumping directly to a solution. I learned the importance of first understanding the user, identifying the root cause of their challenges. I also learned that prototypes do not need to be perfect. Speaking from a very I'm a perfectionist by nature, so this was kind of like a challenge for me to understand that your first trial doesn't have to be perfect. You're allowed to fail at something and get feedback and try again. Finally, I would say this project strengthened my belief that AI can be an excellent collaborative partner, but empathy, creativity, and professional judgment, like I said earlier, must always come from people. This experience has given me a practical framework that I can apply to future challenges in both my professional and personal life. This is just an overview of what we talked about, what I have explained from the start of the video, the retirement and separation challenges, the 5 stages of design thinking process, user research, empathy and problem definition, brainstorming and solution development, low and high, um, fidelity prototype, user testing, and design improvement. How AI was able to help me with this development, and I guess proposing the Air Force transition dashboard. These are the references that supported my project, including Brown's Change by Design, Paxno's article on AI and design thinking, and the course videos, because I went through most of the videos that was uploaded in our courses that kind of like helped me as well with this whole process. And yeah, thank you for taking time to view my presentation.